Alright, we're back in War Thunder. I'm going for a Russian-Japanese campaign, one of the lesser observed battlefields from World War II. It's like a stepchild. I mean, everybody knows about Normandy, D-Day. Everybody knows about the Pacific War. Everybody knows about the war in Europe, obviously, with Operation Barbarossa and the Sea Lion, which never came to pass. But what people often forget that the Russians had also a two-front war in the West against the Germans, and of course all the German allied, like the Romanians, Bulgarians, Hungarians, Italians, and so on and so forth. But they also fought in the Far East, in Manchuria and so on, against the Japanese, who conquered a considerable chunk of China and Southeast Asia. And I think we do a campaign in that area, which serves double the purpose. I will play as the Russians, or I'm sorry, the Soviets. And so we can have a look at the Soviet aircraft at the time. We will play as the Soviets. And maybe if we have time, we switch. I can show you how you can get customized, well, not customized, but modded skins for your aircraft, or tank for that matter. The only downside is you are the only one who can see that skin. There are very, very, very few skins which are implemented into the game, which you and your opponents, or the other players rather, see as it is. If you apply a custom skin, you will see it as the custom skin, as you have it. However, everybody else sees the stock airplane, which I suppose is not much of a trouble, since why would you care what others see, right? It's for you and you only, but just as a public service announcement. So let's go with that campaign. So here we can fly out the MiG-3. Here we have a Yak-1B, a E-16, Ki-43, which is a captured aircraft, a Yak-7B, a Ilyushin 8, alright, and a Lavochkin 3. So I go with the I-16 because it's a remarkable little aircraft, very revolutionary for its time. And we try to intercept bombers. I don't think we will have much luck with that because it only has 7.62 millimeter rifles. I mean machine guns, of course, but yeah, you get the gist. It's a pea shooting type. They got 4 of them. That's the good thing. But yeah, if you really try to shoot down bombers, okay, I mean we're lucky because it's Japanese bombers, which are basically tinder boxes, right? You could almost assume they're made from combustibles. So we also have rockets at our disposal, and just see. So this is the Ishak, the Polikarpov E-16. She served in on the Republicans. Was it in the Spanish Civil War, on the side which were not the Nazis? I always mix up which one is which. Oh, that didn't go well. So you see it has a semi-open cockpit. What did they hit us with? Do they have 20mm cannons? That would be interesting. Okay, so we can Jeez. Yeah. That doesn't bode well. Sorry for swearing. This is a little bit anticlimactic, but I mean, I deliberately chose a, at this point in time, outdated aircraft. So there's that. Just to show it, because it's a funny little aircraft if it plays at the battle rating, which it doesn't here. Frustrating. So it does go the way I thought it will go, that we do not have the firepower to overcome these in a time. They even outrun us. I mean, how are we supposed to deal with it? I guess not. It appears. There's a big bulk, but they're what, 4 kilometers out. I have no hope of hitting them with the rockets. They will plummet to the ground. Did they crash into each other? They seem to have 20mm cannons though. Seems to be an upgraded version of the I-16. Still, you've seen they made mincemeat out of an aircraft. Give them half a chance. Their formation is still tight. I don't know. That's better. Keep up with them, so yeah, there's that. Yeah, that's fine. So let's see, let's take out something more modern. MiG free, Lavochkin free. No, we're not taking this one out. MiG free, no. Let's take the luck. Russian aircraft. It's a little bit of a mixed bag. They also needed to save light alloys like aluminium or duraluminium. Therefore, you can see some of the control surfaces are cloth, canvas, or whatever they used. They also tried to save weight and gave them probably two MGs or 3 MGs, and you know, following Stalin's doctrine that quantity is a quality of its own. So if you go into the aircraft, you see that control surfaces, they are cloth or very thin tin foil or whatever it is, right? Bogies. Get back. So I think we have one through the nose, yes, and 2 on top of the nose. 1 on top of the nose. Checks out. And not much ammunition. You can see it 250, 150 or something like that. So really not much to work with here. We have depleted most of our ammunition already. But the Russian aircraft were quite nimble. Also, of course, they were easy to maintain in field conditions, right? And by untrained crews, you didn't need you know, an MIT master to you know, maintain the engine, for example. It's probably also not to the extreme, you know, that any guy from the street, random guy, could fix it. But you get the gist, right? They were not as sophisticated as the British or the German engines. And they were also designed to work in cold temperatures, which the Germans struggled with their engines, because all the lubricant stopped to solidify. Therefore it didn't do the job anymore, so we're dry now. We have some engine power back. This one's already missing a wing. With that alone. And I think it reads cannon, but I think this is 12.7mm. Or gun, rather. That was close. Thought we couldn't give enough lead, but apparently we could. That was way too risky. That was not a smart move of mine. It paid out. Nice. Come on, Tovarich, давай, давай. Should have my comrade here. It's 4 hours still. Yeah, I think that will give him something to think about. Yeah. Jeez. Can't hit the barn. The roadside of the barn for me. Oh, 1 second. The Russian 50 caliber gun was quite good. From what I read. Is that a maneuver kill? Yeah, it goes into the ground. Victory roll. friendly fire. Where is he? Oh, what? He's warm. Poor guy. Tipping my hat that he's still alive. Yeah, as you can see, that the armament is nothing to write home about. I have one big caliber gun and one smaller caliber gun. And I don't know what that means in that context, whether it's a 20mm and a 12.7 or even a 12.7 on the rifle caliber gun. That I do not know. But we can check. It's the Lock 335 or something. She was labeled right. On to next missions. So that corrects our error from the previous mission. So the I-153 is a double-decker with 20mm cannons. It's an interesting little aircraft, but I don't know. I don't want to intercept bombers. That never turns out good. E-29. I-29. I don't know anything about this. Let's take this one out. Hope I'm not going to regret that. Yeah. Is that us? It is. What the? Did I see that correctly? You don't have... That's a ground attack, right? Well, no air brakes. Zoomed in too much. Yeah, I wasn't shot down really, technically. Ground shot me down. Yeah. Yeah, that's what I thought. Can't damage. Let's go for the reload. Oh, we have MGs as well. Okay. Interesting. Really, we go against zeros. Are you fucking kidding me? T-49, that's the bomber. I'm more worried about the escort, to be honest. Why do the Japanese fly Soviet captured airplanes? Bomber shot me down. Nice. They so nicely disintegrate. I feel they just distract us from the mission. I can't let them be alive either. Don't we have any escort? Oh, somebody hit water tank. Oh, it's the fucking flock. Okay, well. Isn't that grandiose? I suppose we're going. Gifting or something to write home about. Make the day more interesting. Let's go. Which one do I pursue? Oh, we did it! These are perfect tinder boxes. Just made out of cardboard, ammunition and fuel. And their payload. I did not know the E29. I think it's not a regular. It's not in the regular tech tree. I think. I seem to remember that you could unlock it in one of these event campaigns. But that was the E29. Let's go on log. We already seen I-180. Doesn't ring a bell. P43. P43. That's an American one. Ilyushin 20. Let's take the legendary Ilyushin 2. Shouldn't we? I mean, we cannot not play it. It's to this day the most produced aircraft, whether civilian or. This is the Char, a Chinese Char. Look, I don't ask questions. It's the most produced aircraft in human history, and I think it will remain because they built about 40,000 of them, and they were renowned for their toughness. They were ground attackers. They have two 20mm cannons and two MGs in the wings. Very nice payload. This one seems to be equipped with rockets. And it's a very large aircraft for a single seater. It does not have a gunner, but it was very heavily armored. And the weak point in it, I do not appreciate firing rocket over my head, Tovarish. The weak point being the huge oil cooler under the fuselage between the wheels, the gear. That was the only place where it was not heavily armored. Where are these guys? Are they on top of us? They are. They have combat flaps, I do not. Well, it's not a fighter aircraft. Swing around. Yeah, I think we will not go for that. I don't think polishing out is an option in this instance. Yeah, that sounded unhealthy. Ooh, I think that was a pilot kill. these ones. Alright. What kind of vehicles are they? Can I destroy them with my guns? I don't think so. Looks tiny. Okay, it's tiny. That was one. Looks like our next target. That was bad. I went too low. Fucking hill. Let's get rid of this halo. Well, got to land our aircraft into the ground again. There's no one with the walls. That one's. I almost did it again. Trimmed the hatch a bit. So about that. What exactly is this red ball? What did I... Yeah, less than 150 kilometers radius. Pushing it. Oh yeah. That was another stupid maneuver of mine. The good thing is we have only one more to destroy. That was of course none of them. Is it behind us? Oh, look at that. Still have rockets. Leads a blessed life. Want me to deploy the gear? I'm not the best pilot in the world. I'm the first person to admit that, but wouldn't extending the gear slow us down even further? Take a reload here. I don't think we will need it, but just in case. But it is the Ilyushin 2. Very unpopular aircraft amongst the German Lancers who were the privileged to serve on the Eastern Front. Because these pilots were so dedicated, they... yeah. And they flew on about treetop heights because they knew about the oil cooling being vulnerable, so they made sure that they couldn't be attacked from below. Which gave the columns of the German Wehrmacht not much time to get off the road when they came in strafing. That was certainly not a good sight to see. Hold on a sec. Yeah. Sorry about that. I have Discord open and then I get the notification all the time. I should make it a habit to not have that when I'm recording. So here we we go. Rendezvous. Option. Let's go into the cockpit. It looks very claustrophobic, to be honest. Especially with zero sight to the rear. On the other hand, I suppose the steel or whatever metal that is provides better protection than glass only. Right. And you can see back out to a certain extent, maybe 8 o'clock, 7 o'clock. Well, this is 7 o'clock. The other one is... No, this is 5. Sorry, 5 o'clock. Maybe. Alright, so... let's move on. So what do we have here? I-80 again. E16, no, we don't do that again. We don't do that here. 2M, I think the M was the one which had the... They got a rear gunner. Lack 3. Let's take the I-80. I think it was a prototype of the MiG-3, if I recall correctly, but I do not know 100%. So let's see. Yeah, it's the red ones. Yeah, they look very suspiciously like a MiG-3. No, they do not. These are I-16s against zeros. Are you kidding me? And they both carry. Why would you? So the I-80 looks like a high-performance variation of the E16. So we go into the cockpit. This is what it looks like. Was one of the first monoplanes with retractable gear. It also has a radial engine. Four MGs on the top. Can you see the muzzles? Then of course two, what's that, 100 kilo bombs maybe. Which we shall drop. Yeah, this is very characteristic noise it makes. The E16, the other versions. See, we can't keep up. You know, we have a problem because they can outrun us no matter what we do. Unless she has an engine failure. I have flaps. Well, I do have flaps, but not without. Yeah. What do we have? Again, Lock 3, we already had that. Okay, we earmarked the MiG-3 because we haven't looked at the MiG-3. Yak 1. P-47 is an American aircraft, which I always like. What's the H-81? I don't know that one. F-47? Is that the P-47 just with the F designation? Okay, I don't know this one. So let's take that. On course, on time, and on target. Yeah. What is this? Oh, it's the P-40, isn't it? It is. Another American aircraft. Okay, well. I should have well taken the P-47. This is the P-40 Curtis. Like, I think the US Army never deployed them. They sold an awful lot of them to Taiwan, Russia, and Soviet Union. So I do think I have 7.62 on the nose and 12.5 on the wings. Or the other way around. It looks more like the other way around. First zero is down. Train. What is it called? Tracers. That's the word I was looking for. I have common flaps, I do. Worst thing you can do. American aircrafts are like American cars. They drive fast in a straight line, and as soon as they need to turn, here it is. Oh yeah, combo flaps are damaged. It's perfect. Left, does it? Some pinnacle side. And that's where we are. Target 4. What's next? Just stay in the area and prevent airstrikes against our friends on the ground. Is that what we're doing? So, no, we're done. Yeah, that was not necessarily the aircraft I want to showcase, because then I could as well take an American aircraft. So, That's another successful campaign in the bag. Now, let's look what what skin we can find for the Wildcat, for example. This would be one of those where community members made a skin, in this instance a historical skin, and offer it on the marketplace. And these are the kind, if I understand correctly, these are the kind which are also displayed versus the other players as one of these. So you see it's locked, so it's not at my, so we can have USS Ranger. I can unlock this. I need to shoot down a certain amount of people. Then I get this camo scheme, and if I shoot down even more, I get this camo scheme. Right, what do I need for that? Oh, I can't, no, this one I must purchase, whereas the Ranger I can unlock. So, I think I have here, where is that, under the German tree? No, it's the French tree. On the French tree, I have so it loads the skin of the Syrian. What is that? The Watin 520. Escadrille AC. And then this one. Yeah, non-unlockable. But let's go to the MS420. Didn't I have? I thought I had a skin for that one. Did I not? Was it a different? No, it was the 405, I think. So let's go to the research tree. MS405. I think this one. No, that's not what I wanted to do. Fuck you. Don't I have them? Who's this one new? Oh yeah, the Fokker. D21. And this is also a Fokker. So you see some of the Dutch aircraft are under the French tech tree. This is a British aircraft even, but also deployed by the Netherlands, it looks. But didn't I? That's so annoying because I thought I did have. Yeah, I aced it. Customization, this is what I wanted to do. See, this is Swiss Air Force, for example. So, because I did have one. Customization. Yeah, look, I aced this flipping aircraft, so I surely had a crew for it. Doesn't matter, wait, let's look at this one. Okay, so we can go to the War Thunder homepage. We go into the workshop once you're logged in, and you have here camouflages. So now you can give in here MS406, because the MS406 was indeed an aircraft which was in service with the Swiss Air Force. This is a historical skin, for example, probably when they made the flight evaluation. Some others are purely fantasy. For example, this one doesn't look like this is historical. Here we have one in Finnish colors. Swiss Shark, that's a historical one. Or this one, it's also a historical one. So, in order to get one of these, so what we need to do is we go back to the aircraft in question, which is the 406, customization. Then we say use a skin template. Oh look, we already have it. Okay. And that was the Swiss Shark, right? Do I have one for the 410? Now I'm getting curious. No, we do not. So, let's take a British aircraft, for example, an Hurricane maybe. And let's take... What is the Chesapeake? Oh, it's an American dive bomber. Okay, Blenheim Beaufort, yeah. So Hurricane, Mark II drop. Where is the regular Hurricane? It's a Sea Hurricane. Hampton, Swordfish. Where is... Don't we have Mark I? Oh yeah, here, Mark I. Stupid. So let's choose this one. Customization. This is the Polish Air Force, you know, which has this little badge here, which is, I think, the only difference it has. This one is FAA. Fleet Air Arm, I think that is. This is a semi-historic one, whatever that is. But I have here the Polish one, which has this insignia on either side as the thingy. So what we need to do is here create a user skin, which is now saved in the path. Then we go here, say Hurricane. Well, if we could write, it would help. Mark 1. Then we take one which tickles our fancy. Whether historical or maybe just fantasy. What is that? That's a little bit very anime-y. Yeah. This is a fictional one. This is of course fictional. Kantai, whatever that is. I do not dare to look it up. So this is for a Soviet pilot, for example. Yeah, so let's take, for shits and giggles, let's take the Finnish one, right? That's even historical. It appears. So what we do is we click, oh, that's, yeah, yes, okay. So we download this, we open, we copy the content. Now we go to the folder of War Thunder. And here we have user skins, template Hurricane Mark 1, and here we put that in. Okay, close it, go back to the now to change to the Finland one. Or maybe it doesn't. I think it is because they're I think that was the problem. I hope. Let's do that again. No, why is it? Well, that didn't work too well. Why would they? No. No. No, okay. So let's why can't I do that? I swear I've done it before. Let's say copy. Then open this one again. Go to user skins. Mark 1. It's there already. Somehow it doesn't work. Alright. I'll try to find out for the next time. In the meantime, I hope you enjoyed it and see you next time. Bye.